precautions. Absolutely would also be doing that in Jellicoe. And just a heads up, we're in northeastern portions of East Tennessee. Right here's the state line with Kentucky. If you live in southeast Kentucky, we're talking about heading over towards Whitley counties, Knox County, Kentucky, and Bell County in Kentucky. The storm is headed in your direction, eventually moving off towards Harlan County in Kentucky. Of course, we still cover counties, those counties in Kentucky. We are going to stick with the storm as we still have evidence of rotation. And we can even look at the shear again right here where we're starting to see the green showing up. Coming up is weak rotation, but the storm system has produced a tornado, as we saw in some of those videos from the Sunbright community back in Morgan County. Still would be considering this storm as on the ground. And here's just a couple times when you can expect arrival. Now, this is what it's saying. I'd give yourself even extra time ahead of this. So from Habersham, 613, again, Wynn Elementary in the path of the storm, 613 as well. Chaska, 614. Westburn, 616. And Morley, 617. This is headed in the direction of the Tennessee-Kentucky state line. We're right now tracking areas of rotation in parts of southeast Kentucky and absolutely need to be taking your tornado precautions if you live in this area of East Tennessee. Now, this is, again, we've been saying the Broyles community for the better part of at least 20 minutes. Hopefully, you've been in your tornado precautions. This storm system continues to track right in the area of Chaska and Wynn Elementary. Now, we're seeing the area of rotation generally in here. Let's think it's more over here already, as there is a slight delay with the radar sending back to us. So in this area of where there is rotation, absolutely need to be in your tornado precautions. The Duff community does look like the storm system may be headed a little bit north of you, but better taking precautions just in case. Absolutely need to be, again, in the most interior room of your house, taking precautions. Again, this storm system is tracked west of I-75 now, but it still continues to move through parts of Campbell County. The tornado warning remains in effect through Campbell County right up until the Claiborne County line. But if you live in western portions of Claiborne County, would absolutely starting to be coming up with your plan to seek shelter. And we're still seeing strong evidence of rotation here. You're seeing the winds going away from the radar, which is based in Morristown. With the greens, the winds going towards it. And here is your area of rotation that could be producing a tornado in this part of East Tennessee. It is 6:07 currently. A lot of folks may be heading home as it is a Tuesday evening. If you know someone whose commute moves through Campbell County, areas west of I-75 at this point, you need to tell them you're better off staying at work at this point and seeking shelter there. You absolutely should not be on the roads at this point. It's better to stay put and seeking shelter. If you are in a car or you know someone who would be driving, they need to seek shelter, whether that's in a store that is on the side of the road. Likely you could go to a gas station. You need to be in a sturdy, well-built structure. A car is not sufficient. You need to be in a building seeking shelter. The storm system continues to track off towards the north and east, headed right towards the Tennessee-Kentucky state line. So absolutely with heads up, this is heading over towards western portions of Claiborne County, like I mentioned, and would also be paying attention. If you live in Bell County, Kentucky, the storm system continues to remain in Campbell County here in East Tennessee. But if you're in Bell County, Kentucky, as this storm system has had areas of rotation now for the better part of almost a half hour to an hour, this continues to track off towards southeast Kentucky. If you live in Bell County, I would absolutely be starting to come up with your plan and ready to execute it should a tornado warning be issued if this storm system continues to hold together. And at this point, Ken, I would suspect it will.
Yeah, Matt, just an update for you. A new tornado watch, as we told you, would be issued for the entire area now. And this goes until 2 o'clock in the morning, so till Wednesday morning at 2 a.m. Doesn't mean that we're going to see severe weather through that entire period. I'd say that's closer to the mountains. I'd say shortly after midnight in that 12 to 1 time frame, that's when it's probably going to push a little further to the south and east. But anywhere up until then, we need to make sure we're paying attention. Again, a watch means the conditions are favorable. It's certainly possible that you could see severe weather. They last for several hours. Portions of states are usually included. Just make sure you have a plan. But what we have right now is a warning. Basically means you need to be taking shelter, and that's going to be into portions of Campbell County. So let's get a quicker look at that. Again, this storm is now east of I-75, which is right through here. There's Broyles, Newcomb. This is Lott, so that's right on the border with southeast Kentucky. That's where this dark black line is. So we need to keep an eye on southeast Kentucky as well to see if this warning gets pushed a little further to the north. I would say even western Claiborne County, you're probably going to be issued next as this storm continues to move to the north and east. Still seeing some rotation rotation again between Broyles, Duff, and just north of the La Follette area. Our camera is located right about here in McLeod Mountain, and we can't see just back to the north and west, unfortunately, because of where the actual restaurant, the building is across the area. I'll show you what it looks like. It's right here. So that tornado, if there is one, would be just on the other side of this building the way it's looking. But you can see the winds are still very brisk up there at the McLeod Mountain. Again, they're at about 2,000 feet in elevation, as that storm would have been ripping off towards that north and east, and still seeing some very heavy rainfall there as well. So again, main center of circulation looks like it would be pretty close to right through here. So that's going to be west of Duff, Winfield Elementary. You need to make sure you're in your safe area. There's an update for you. Still tracking northeast very quickly at about 40 miles per hour. Again, they're going to continue this tornado warning. This is going to go until 6:30, another 20 minutes from right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if Claiborne County gets added to this as well. So if you're at Clairfield Elementary, Braden, basically anywhere to the west, really, of about Tazewell or New Tazewell, the TNT area, just make sure you're keeping an eye on this as well. In fact, I would think about going ahead and getting close to your safe spot, or at least gathering your stuff together here over the next few minutes, because it looks like they could be next, Claiborne County. I wouldn't be surprised if portions of southeast Kentucky get added to this as well. So as we're heading up to around the Middlesboro area, we'll watch that as well. But right now, the active tornado warning, the only one we have, that's Campbell County. The storm is east of the I-75 area. So if you're Caryville, La Follette, looks like you're okay at this point. Buckeye doing okay, Newcomb doing okay, Lott okay as well. It's going to be to the north and east of that where we have our biggest concern across this. So the ones we're watching, that's east of Broyles, Duff, Winfield, again until 6:30. It's moving northeast at about 43 miles per hour. So this cell is moving very quickly. You don't have a lot of time to get in your safe area when these warnings come into your spots. That's why we tell you now, give you enough time to do it. But again, we're going to keep a very close eye on Claiborne County as well, and into southeast Kentucky as this storm is tracking off to the north and east. We've had numerous reports of power outages across the area. I'm going to quickly just take a look and see if we have any updates on some of the power outages across the area. Not seeing any here, but we are seeing some into Morgan County. That would make sense where Sunbright earlier. Let me get a query on this. We talk about how much we're seeing. So well over 100. I'm sure there's probably more than that, but that was the last update we had in Morgan County. It could be very close to where that storm actually touched down, and we had that report earlier into Morgan County. I'll keep an eye on this cell, not severe. This is into Pickett County and Overton County as well, but into northwestern Fentress County. We'll watch as that storm tracks to the north and east. The greater risk, though, still and has been, is this cell that's making its way up. In fact, it's getting a little stronger once again into Campbell County, seeing that update there, that virtual threat index, or that number up to a 6.7 as we speak. So most likely that storm could be increasing as well in intensity. That's why the warning still continues here until 6:30 for Campbell County. So another 17 minutes or so. We'll see. No indication yet from the National Weather Service in Morristown if they're going to extend this warning into Claiborne County, but I would feel better if you're in Claiborne County, especially northwest Claiborne, north of Speedwell, Powell Valley, Clairfield. I want to make sure you already have your plan in place. So if that warning gets issued, you can go to your safe spot, and up into southeast Kentucky as well, anywhere around the Fonda community and also up towards Middlesboro. I want to make sure you have your plan in place and you know where to go. All right, say that again, Laura, I'm sorry. Okay, Matt, I think you got an update for us as well. But Matt, we've still seen this cell. It's kind of been ebbing and flowing, if you will. Started at a 2.4 threat index. It's kind of a virtual number that we watch. The higher the number, the greater the potential that storm is being severe or producing a tornado. And Matt, it's now up to about a 6.7.
Absolutely, Ken. That's usually how it works. You have the storms. You know, we saw that there was tornado damage reported in Morgan County. A lot of times they can back build, re-strengthen, reorganize, and we're seeing the storm strengthen once again. We're talking about areas in Campbell County, but as Ken mentioned, you can see headed right towards the Middlesboro area. So if you live in Bell County in Kentucky, if you live in Claiborne County here in Tennessee, you absolutely need to already have your plan in place, but be ready to execute it. We are still seeing strong signs of rotation that is moving through parts parts of Campbell County. So I wanted to kind of give you an orientation here. We're in Campbell County. Here's State Route 63. You can take here from La Follette up towards Harrogate, heading towards the Middlesbrough area. It is north of that route. We're north of 63 at this point. We're seeing area of rotation here in Campbell County, south of the Jellicoe area. But Jellicoe, you're under a tornado warning. You absolutely should be in your safe place. The storm system continues to track off towards the north and east. So just some times that you can keep in mind as the storm system continues to push off. I'd give yourself even more time than what is shown here. If you live close to Morley, 6:20 p.m., so about 5 minutes, you need to be ready to take your tornado precautions. You should execute those now. If you do live in Holton, 6:22, this storm system continues to track off towards the east, and Ken's mentioned the virtual threat index now getting closer towards the 7 mark. So this storm definitely strengthening in parts of Campbell County. This is north of Duff, heading right towards the Chaska community. If you have a child that goes to Clarefield Elementary over towards Campbell County or the Claiborne County area, you need to be taking your tornado precautions. This storm system has likely produced a tornado